Have you ever wondered why certain challenges repeatedly appear in your life? Or why some relationships feel so profoundly familiar from the moment you meet? These aren't random coincidences, but maybe echoes of how your soul chose this life before birth. In the ethereal space between lifetimes, your soul, in its infinite wisdom, met with spiritual guides, reviewed possibilities, and made sacred decisions about the journey ahead. This profound concept of soul planning suggests that before you drew your first breath, you participated in designing your life's blueprint. The family you were born into, the talents you possess, even the obstacles you face, all potentially selected with purpose. Today, we explore this hidden architecture of existence that shapes our deepest experiences and poses the ultimate question. What if everything meaningful in your life, including its difficulties, was actually chosen by you? Pre-birth soul planning, explained, is the understanding that souls actively participate in designing their upcoming incarnation before entering physical form. Unlike random assignment, this spiritual perspective suggests that each soul carefully selects the circumstances of its life, from family dynamics and geographical location to core relationships and pivotal challenges, all serving as vehicles for growth and evolution. Robert Schwartz, in his groundbreaking work, Your Soul's Plan, documents compelling cases suggesting that even our most difficult experiences may stem from conscious pre-birth choices. These soul contracts aren't punishments or arbitrary assignments, but rather sophisticated tools for expansion. The soul doesn't choose hardship for suffering's sake, but rather selects experiences that will catalyze specific aspects of development: compassion, forgiveness, strength, or wisdom that it seeks to embody in this lifetime. Life before birth, according to this understanding, involves a complex planning process where souls, with guidance from more advanced entities, review past lifetimes, identify areas for growth, and carefully craft a path that offers opportunities for that development. Understanding soul contracts and life choices reveals that significant relationships in our lives are rarely accidental. Instead, they represent carefully orchestrated agreements made in the spiritual realm before incarnation. That person who changed your life's direction, the parent who challenged you, or the romantic partner who broke your heart, all may be souls you made agreements with to facilitate mutual growth. Michael Newton's extensive research in Journey of Souls documents thousands of case studies where, under hypnosis, people recall the planning process between lives. His subjects consistently describe meeting with future family members, friends, and even adversaries to design experiences that would catalyze evolution for all involved parties. These soul agreements aren't about punishment, but about creating the precise conditions needed for expansion. Are our family and relationships predestined by soul agreements? Many wonder. The spiritual perspective suggests they often are, but with flexibility built into the system. These contracts establish potentials rather than absolutes. Each soul retains free will to fulfill their role or to deviate from it, creating a dynamic dance between destiny and choice. Perhaps the most difficult spiritual concept to accept is that your soul may have chosen its hardships before you were born. Do we plan our lives before reincarnation, including the painful parts? According to researchers like Brian L. Weiss and Dolores Cannon, we do, not from masochism, but from a profound understanding that certain lessons can only be learned through specific challenges. The soul sees from a perspective beyond physical limitations. From this vantage point, illness becomes a teacher of compassion, betrayal becomes a catalyst for self-love, and loss becomes an initiation into deeper wisdom. How do souls decide on their life challenges and lessons? They select experiences that will most efficiently facilitate their evolution, even when those experiences involve suffering. This doesn't mean every difficulty was pre-planned. Some arise from free will choices or collective circumstances. But many of life's most transformative challenges may indeed be sacred assignments your soul accepted, knowing they held the potential to awaken aspects of your being that could flourish in no other way. If spiritual perspectives on choosing life circumstances before birth are true, why don't we remember making these choices? The veil of forgetfulness appears to be an intentional feature of incarnation, not a bug in the system. This amnesia serves multiple purposes in our spiritual development. First, remembering your pre-birth planning would undermine the authenticity of your responses to life's challenges. If you knew with certainty that you chose a particular difficulty, you might approach it intellectually, rather than experiencing it fully. Second, forgetting allows for genuine free will. You make choices based on your earthly perspective, not from foreknowledge of a predetermined script. This spiritual amnesia creates the conditions for authentic growth. The soul knows that remembering too much too soon would short-circuit the very experiences it incarnated to have. The forgetting is, paradoxically, essential to the remembering that happens at a deeper level as you evolve through life's experiences. Did my soul choose this life before I was born? If you're asking this question, you may already be experiencing the first signs of remembering your soul's blueprint. These glimpses typically arrive not as complete memories, but as intuitive knowings, synchronicities, and patterns that hint at a larger design. Profound déjà vu experiences, especially regarding places or people you've never encountered before, can signal recognition from your soul's deeper memory. Recurring dreams featuring the same characters or scenarios may reflect pre-birth planning sessions. Meeting someone and feeling an instant, inexplicable connection, whether positive or challenging, often indicates a soul contract activating. Another significant sign is finding meaning in life's challenges after they've passed, suddenly understanding how a difficult period served your growth perfectly. These moments of clarity, where the puzzle pieces of your life suddenly form a coherent picture, often reflect your conscious mind catching glimpses of your soul's original intentions. Can we change the life path our soul chose before birth? This question reflects the tension between predetermined destiny and free will. The spiritual understanding of reincarnation planning suggests that while your soul may have chosen certain themes and potentials, the specifics remain flexible. Think of your soul's plan less as a rigid script and more as a musical composition with room for improvisation. The key signatures and main motifs were selected before birth, but how you play the notes, and even which ones you emphasize, remains your choice in each moment. Conscious awareness of these patterns gives you greater agency. When you recognize a recurring challenge as potentially part of your soul's curriculum, you gain the power to approach it differently. You might still face the lesson, but with awareness, you can graduate from it more efficiently, potentially shifting to alternative timelines that fulfill the same growth objectives with less suffering. Your soul's purpose isn't simply about career or external achievements, but about the qualities you came to develop and express. Pre-birth choices focus more on who you become through your experiences than on what you accomplish in worldly terms. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, renowned for her work with death and dying, suggested that souls choose lives that will help them develop specific virtues they seek to embody. Some incarnate primarily to learn compassion, others patience, courage, forgiveness, or joy. These soul lessons become the thread running through seemingly unconnected life experiences. What feels most natural and fulfilling to your heart often reveals clues about your soul's intentions. Your deepest resonance, whether with creative expression, healing others, seeking knowledge, or building community, typically reflects the vibrational signature your soul planned to develop before your birth. If the spiritual perspective on pre-birth soul planning holds truth, then you are not a victim of random circumstances, but a courageous participant in a grand educational journey. The challenges that have shaped you were not punishments, but opportunities, sacred invitations to remember and reclaim the fullness of who you are. This understanding doesn't dismiss life's difficulties, but reframes them within a larger context of purposeful growth. When you wonder, why is this happening to me? Consider that perhaps at some level, it is happening through you, through choices your soul made with profound wisdom and an eternal perspective. What if the most difficult chapters of your story contain precisely the catalysts your soul knew you would need? What if the questions that haunt you are actually breadcrumbs leading back to your own deepest knowing? Perhaps in your moments of greatest challenge and transformation, you're not just surviving life's trials, you're fulfilling the very purpose your soul envisioned before birth.